Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you again from North Carolina, where finally the sun has come out. Last week we had a ton of flooding. Here's what the bottomland looked at my house. Couldn't get across the bridge to get to my driveway. Fortunately, there was another way around, but couldn't get mail, couldn't check the mail. But I could check the mail, I guess. I could just walk through the water, but the mail lady sure wasn't going to do that. But anyway, I can only imagine what it was like out on the trail last week. Matter of fact, John Lavigny, he's going to give us a little clue of that. But let's go ahead and get on with the Appalachian Trail Thru Hiker update for 2020. Right now we've still got some 2019 hikers that are still out there on the trail. 2020, he has made his way to the over the Tennessee line and continues south. Champ, he's somewhere south of Hot Springs, and he should be coming into the Smokies real soon now. Quicksand, he was stuck as of yesterday in Franklin because of all the snow they had. Could not get a shuttle back to the trail, but hopefully with the sun out and the roads open that he has been able to get a shuttle back out there and continue his Nobo section of his flip-flop hike as he continues north. And then Baby Legs, the only other Sobo that we're aware of that we've got out there that we're tracking, unfortunately her phone died and it must have got wet or something, so we've not been able to talk to her specifically, but 2020 had been hiking with her for a while before they both took a break, and they may have hooked up again because he indicated to me that her phone got drowned. So there you go for 2019. All those folks will be finishing up within weeks, and so we look forward to their finishing up and their summit pictures there at Springer. And of course, Champ, he's going to be finishing up at the Knock, so his finishing picture will be somewhere else other than Springer. Weather for those folks and the 2020 folks, it's going to be great today, which is Sunday, but the rest of the week, Monday and Tuesday, it is not looking too good. It's going to be like wet pretty much the whole week, except for getting close to the end of the week when they first get an opportunity for stuff to, the percentages of rain going to come down. First of the week, probably, except in the Smokies, not going to get a lot of snow, but when you get to high altitude, particularly like around Icewater Shelter there in the Smokies, it's the first shelter heading Nobo after Newfound Gap. They're going to get some snow there, according to the AT Trail weather app, but other than that, it's not really going to get too cold, or certainly not down below significantly below freezing. But as always at altitude, when it's in the 30s like that, I always recommend you sleeping with your Sawyer squeeze, because that's something that once you damage, then you're done with that, and you got to come up with another way to filtrate your water. So right now down at Springer, they got about 6 inches of snow, according to the folks down there at the state park. And they are, and then also I looked at a few other folks online that have started this week, and they're hiking through the snow. So somewhere around 4 to 6 inches. Hopefully it got warm today, and it's going to get warm next week, so some of that will melt and it won't be so bad. I know from experience, for the first time this past weekend when I was out on the trail, and that's why I didn't do the update, because I was out enjoying the trail, that walking through 6 inches of snow is a lot different than walking just on the regular trail. So I'll be putting that video out probably later in the week, and hopefully you'll tune in to watch that. It was gorgeous out there, but like I said, it was a whole different experience hiking in the winter for me, and I look forward to sharing that with you. Registrations for the class of 2020 Nobo. Last week we had 1,600, or correction, at the last update, which was 2 weeks ago now, we had 1,686 folks that had registered for Nobo, and this week we've got 1,875. And March 1st and 2nd and February 29th, we've almost got 50 people on the trail. So we either got 50, one day we got 47, I believe, the other day is 49. So there's close to 150 people starting within a 3-day period. So you can only imagine what the shelters are going to be like up there. Hawk Mountain Shelter is usually the first shelter folks stop at. There is another one there, I believe it's Stover Creek, that's well short of that. But just short of Hawk Mountain Shelter, there's Hawk Mountain campsites. And there's a lot of campsites there, a lot of area that you can camp at. You might want to consider that. Anyway, Hawk Mountain shelter is probably going to be party central for a while coming up. Sobo, last week we had 66 folks starting, and this week we've got 78 people that are registered for Sobo. And then Flip Flop, last week we had 66 folks registered, and this week we've got 75. So that is a total of last update we had 1,818, and this week we've got 1,875. So we are well above where we were last year. February 9th of last year, we were in the high 1,700s. So we've already gone past that by 7-8%, something like that. So registrations right now are tracking up. We'll see if that continues. Folks that are started have already started or started this past week. We've got Bushcraft Joe. He started Saturday, and he's got a video up. Paul McDonald, he started Sunday. MacGyver started today, rather than starting on the 8th. And Rachel Summers, Christy Sienna, and Hangfire have all started. Now, if you'll go and look at the list, and of course the list, you can find that by down in the description section. There's a link to that of all the hikers that we're tracking. If you'll go all the way over to the right of that list, you'll see what where people are they, you know, whether they be prepping, on the trail, off the trail, canceled their trip, what have you. And you'll notice that I've got there, it says on trail not verified. So what that means is that those folks are supposed to be on trail given the date they told me, but I have not been able to find anywhere in their social media that they've updated that they did indeed get on the trail. Because a lot of times, we found out last year, people register and then something comes up last minute and they just couldn't go. Or they have to delay it. So help me and keep everybody informed, and by, if you know of any of those folks that I've got that says not verified, if you would let me know if you have found or in contact with them, or if you know of a place where they have posted that I'm not aware, let me know and give me that link so that I can go and change that on the trail. We want to make sure that we're giving everybody credit where they're at. Did speak down to the Amicalola Falls State Park down there, and we are up to bag tag number 114. So that means 114 people have stepped off and officially signed in to the logbook down there, weighed their pack, stepped through the arch, or and they may have taken the approach trail, but not necessarily. Not everybody takes the approach trail. But we had a 6 that, as of 12 o'clock today, we had 6 that had already left today, and 26 that have left since February 3rd. So that's quite a bit, but we've got a lot more that are leaving coming up this coming week, and we're tracking a lot more of those. So before our next update, the folks that we've got leaving is going to be Yowie, Wild, Screwball, and Jolie, Camper, Frosty, Oso, Stinkbug, Jolene and Thomas Griffin, The Hound, Scott Harmick, Mike Grassy, Mike Page, Polar Bear, Lost, Brian, I don't have Brian's last name or Brian's trail name, Random, 3 Mile, and Slider and Granger are all leaving before our next update this coming week. So folks, as you start your hike, when you go down to Amicalola Falls and sign in the logbook, it would be great for me and for you if you would take a picture of the page that you're signing into the logbook. That's nothing wrong with that. People have sent me those pictures before. When I was down there at ADCO last year, they let me take a picture of it, and certainly that is public information. So if you take a picture of it, you'll have it for your memento, where you were, what your pack weight was, when you left, who was around with you. But also send me that, because I'd like to include that and give you credit in my updates each week. And then that way we can, it'll help me to kind of statistically track some more folks and see who's out there. I'd like to know the percentage of folks that are out there that we actually don't have on our list. So obviously there's a lot, because we've only got approaching 200 people on our list, and we know there's a whole lot more people that are registered, a whole lot more people that are going to finish. So help me, I'd appreciate that a lot, and help yourself. New ads we had for the class of 2020 since our last update, and these ads on the list, they will appear in red. But then also, if you'll look up in the other folks that we've already had on the list, If they are in red, it means something's changed about them. So it could be they've added an account, could be they've added a social media account. A couple folks updated their veteran status, and then some folks have updated their date of departure. They've changed that. So that's kind of the coding there for that list. So folks that are starting this coming week, Debbie and Michael Taroni, Saul and Ty, Betty Stout Sis, BJ, or that's her name, BJ, and Debbie and Michael Taroni, their trail names are Saul and Ty, Rachel Summers, John and Gigi, Nice and Easy, Matt and Ann Radcliffe, Terry Behrens, and he's also known, or she's also known as Who's Your Mama? And Terry might be a guy, I'm not sure, I hadn't had a chance to go and take a look at that, but sorry about that, Terry. But Who's Your Mama is going to be starting, and Dave Walters. Those folks are all starting this week. So we look forward to those all folks we're tracking. They've got social media accounts, and those people already out there, so I would encourage you to go and take a look at those folks and go and give them a comment and let them know that you're looking forward as they get started on their trip. This week coming up is going to be pretty brutal, and they could probably need some confidence boosters in the form of people commenting and giving them some attaboys. So right now we're tracking about 198 hikers that are out there. So the idea is that you help me and you help build the hiker community, and then go and help support the thru hikers by going to that list and subscribing to as many folks as you're comfortable subscribing to or following, and then you can go and give them comments and keep them spurred on all the way to Katahdin. A lot of folks have told me in the past couple weeks that they can't wait for people to get started, that they're having withdrawal symptoms from the class of 2019, not being able to watch videos and track people. Well, now you don't have an excuse, folks. There's plenty of people out there that have already started, but are particularly that are starting this coming week. Folks that are out there right now that we know there's positions, John Lavigny Jr., he should be coming in Neal's Gap, and he gave me a good indication of what the trail conditions are. He said the trail has been tough, foggy, drizzle, and rain showers the first day. Thursday, my second day, it was pouring rain with lightning, thunder, and tornado warnings. Third day was freezing cold snow showers all day and yesterday, and they had 7 inches of snow, but he made it to Gooch Gap. So I don't know if that sounds awful or awesome. Maybe a little bit of both, but those are some tough conditions out there, and kind of reminds me of my trip that you'll see when I went this past weekend out there on the AT north of Hot Springs. But in any case, appreciate that vivid description there, John. Subman and subs, they're right now at home finishing up. They are finishing up their jobs. They're getting ready to retire, and they should be getting back on the trail this week for good. You may recall that they have been kind of section hiking their way north and then going back home to finish work, and they're going to be doing that. And they'll be getting back on the trail at the knock and staying on the trail for the duration. Team Honey Badgers in North Carolina, and they should be coming into Franklin in the next few days. Happy, he's out of the Smokies, and he should be coming into Hot Springs in the next few days. And Smiley, who is pouring on the coals, he is coming into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park probably today. So all you guys out there, I'm having a ball watching you and seeing your updates. So continue to send us those updates so that we can continue to spur you on, continue to give you comments, and just continue to be part of your trip and live vicariously through you. Now, if you're not aware of that list, or you're not on that list, you can find that list in the link in the description section, and that's a Google Doc spreadsheet. And if you want to be on that list and you're not there, then please give me your information. You'll find the information template down in the description section. And then also, if you're not a thru hiker but you want to follow thru hikers, that list there is for you as well, and you'll find who's out there on the trail, who's not, and what their social media accounts are, so that you can follow them, keep them spurred on. This week kind of marks the transition of the channel, where I'm going to be shifting focus from folks that are prepping to folks that are actually out there on the trail. So I'm going to have my hands full keeping up with people that are out there on the trail, their videos, what's going on, how things are going with them. And so you folks that hadn't left yet, we'll continue to watch your videos as well. But I did want to let you know that probably not going to be featuring the preppers, going to be featuring more of the folks that are out there on the trail. But I did want to feature one guy that's out there that's prepping, and he is not got started yet, but he's going to. His name is Dan Schoenthal, I believe how you pronounce your name, Dan. And Dan kind of struck me as somebody who's really brave. Now, we have a lot of brave souls that get out there on the AT. Now, it's brave enough and takes courage enough just to get out there and attempt to endure 2,193 miles. So, you know, my hat's off to all you folks for doing that. But there's some folks get out there that have particular difficulties. We have a lot of veterans that are walking off the war. There's one individual that I've not been allowed to, or wasn't given permission. I didn't ask, so I won't mention his name, but his daughter, and I believe his daughter recently, his only daughter, committed suicide. And so he is out there walking off that pain of losing his only daughter. I cannot imagine what that's like. I mean, as a father of a daughter and a father of a son, it's the worst thing in the world can happen for me is something happen to my children, be it a wreck or sickness or much less a suicide. So the person I'm talking about, if you're watching, you're out there, be praying for you. I hope that you find what you seek out there on the trail, and the trail provides for you. And then another person that I wanted to mention that I thought was a brave soul, of course, is Dan. And Dan's trail name is Trimmer. And his trail name is Trimmer because he has Parkinson's. Now, if you don't know much about Parkinson's, Parkinson's is a nerve disease, degenerative disease that basically is incurable. It progresses at different rates for different people, but basically toward the end of it, you're pretty much immobile in a wheelchair. And so those are what people with Parkinson's have to look forward to toward the end of their, however fast it progresses. And so Dan, I believe he was diagnosed last year with it, but or it may have been a year or two ago, but it hasn't been that long ago. And so he's decided that this is one of the things that he's want to do, and before he gets to the point where he can't anymore, he is going to try to do a thru hike. So Dan, we'll be watching you, be looking forward to how things are going out there with you, be spurring you on, and you got this, buddy, no problem. So just looking forward to your videos and what you got going on out there. Take a look in there in our Hikers Helping Hikers section. We got a lot of cool things going on there, ways that you can help hikers that are out there on the trail. One of the things I want to mention was that Fresh Ground, and everybody knows who Fresh Ground is. He's the quintessential trail angel. He made his goal of $15,000 that he wanted to raise for this year to stay out there as a trail angel. But please don't stop those contributions. That will keep him out there for a certain amount of time. But last year, he stayed out even longer because contributions kept coming in. And sometimes he can do even more. The more contributions he has, the more he can do, the better he can feed people. So, and he feeds thru hikers and section hikers and just folks that walk up in general. So he does so much for them. So we appreciate, on behalf of Fresh Ground, I appreciate you helping him meet his goal, and I know that you'll help him continue out there on the trail. Also, don't forget that if you are a trail angel, we have a trail angel section down there on that list. And if you're a trail angel who wants to help people and give them food at a certain place or shuttles or something like that, particularly up around Harper's Ferry, where, as you know, we've got the bridges down, and so the AT trail stops and you have to get around that section there over the river. And the only way to do that is through shuttle. You can't, there's no trail to get there. There's a highway road walk, But other than that, you have to take a shuttle. So if you're somebody up there around Harper's Ferry willing to shuttle people around for free or for a minimal amount, then please let me know. We'll include you down there in our Trail Angel section. And just if you're a Trail Angel anywhere up down the trail, we want to include you. So there's some folks I've got to add there from last year. Mund, I know he's going to continue to do his Trail Angel work, and so don't worry, Mund, I'm going to get you added there. I hadn't forgot about you. But there's other folks out there, please let me know. Well, folks, that's about all I've got this week. I appreciate you staying here to the end. Looking forward to getting that video out of my trip up there north of Hot Springs, so you can see my version of hiking in the winter. Well, that's it, folks. Y'all have a great week. Get out there and go and subscribe to some of these channels and follow some of these thru hikers and keep them pumped up all the way to Katahdin or all the way to Springer or all the way in between, wherever they're going. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.